think a lot of people don't realize this. When you're in a relationship with a girl, it's kind of like an ongoing mitigation of conflict.
Yes.
Like, I don't think guys realize that. I don't think women realize that either, because they think like, oh, we should just be in this perfect relationship, and if there's not like fucking harp playing and Disney music playing in the background, and I don't want this, and this is so stressful, blah blah blah, and like let's be honest too, the majority of problems that do come up from a relationship usually come to women.
Yeah.
And
yes, that's right.
Men have to be the stewards of the relationship. Men have to be the overseers, and men have to have the authority. And we have left women to their own devices. And I love saying this. What has happened? I mean, we have like, these women are aborting babies like it's going out of style. Mm-hmm. They are, because you have these chicks. I just saw this on Instagram, right? You have these chicks like, do you know that octopuses are really intelligent and they're smart and they're really, so emotionally aware creatures? Like, do you know mushrooms are connected and talk to each other? Do you know trees have energy? Or you hear all these liberal girls saying that?
Yeah.
When they have an abortion, like, it's just a clump of cells,
Right. Yeah. When it helps further their sexual strategy, of course,
Yeah, just a clump of cells. That little thing.
Right.
And so, but left to their own devices, men too, right? Men are not in any better. I mean, I think if you had to compare them across the board, I think women are a little worse off because they have more freedom and more access to shit that can fucking destroy their lives.
Oh, women have it harder, I think, because they have the most power in the sexual marketplace when they're the dumbest. When they're, because that's when they're young. Girl between the ages of 8, I'd say around 18 or so. Which is considered adult age in most, consensual age in most places, to 25. That's when she has the most power in the sexual marketplace, and she also has the least amount of maturity, the least amount of experience to use that power. And so that right there can cause her to set herself up for failure,
That's like, okay, congratulations, you're 18 years old, you're a young man, and here is this fully automatic M249 para squad automatic weapon. Don't kill anybody, it's yours. We're also going to give you 500 rounds of ammo. Like, it's going to happen,
Yeah.
It's just too much power. So, and I think that, like, looking at everything, this is just, it's clear that both men and women need help, but not to play the blame game. And obviously we're biased because we're both men, but it does seem that, women absolutely need the guidance of a man from a father. Yeah. And that's why the father gave the bride away to her husband. He's like, all right, I've held it together from here. She's not fucked up. Now I'm gonna hand it off to you.
Well, the guidance and protection too. That's the other thing. There was the time when, dads and siblings, weren't the subject of pornography, but were instead, something, some people that protected their daughters, their sisters. Like, that was the thing, because, and it's so important. The biggest walking victim waiting to happen is in a very highly attractive woman, young girl, we'll say, like a girl when she's teenager, like she's going to be hot when she gets older type girl,
Yeah.
She is a walking victim waiting to happen because guys will exploit her. Other women will exploit her. I mean, she'll be exploited just for her attractiveness, with no maturity or wherewithal on how to handle that or guidance. And it's up to the guy to say, hey, you need to protect yourself, because that's the guy's job. That's dad's job, is to make sure that she has value and sees her value, inherent value in her sexuality, and then doesn't waste it or abuse it. That's not something women are really good at. Like, moms aren't good at training their daughters on how to do that. They're better. Moms are better at being moms and training and teaching both sons and daughters on that level. But, moms aren't good at being dads, and a dad is the person who is more protection conscious, more aware of, hey, this could damage you. You know what I mean? this is valuable, that sort of thing. And when a woman feels valuable from a masculine presence in her household, from her father and even her siblings, do you know what I mean? She's less likely to have a low sense of value and think that her sexuality is something that can be used as a tool for manipulation or just to give away whatever she feels like it. You know what I mean? Because it feels a certain way at the time. Like there's more value that she'll place on herself. And so, you know, it's an important thing because young girls are sexually assaulted, you know, they're taken advantage of, and they make decisions to put themselves in places to get taken advantage of without guidance, you know, and that's not good. So
Yeah, I mean it's a recipe for disaster, and I think the cat's out the bag, the jury's out. Like they clearly can't handle being sentient beings. They just can't. Like they really just can't.
right.
But hey, that's okay. That's their problem, and it's good to be a man.